Have you ever left a meeting thinking, ugh, it's time to do something different? Board development is one of the biggest struggles I see in small nonprofits. And honestly, a successful board can make or break your entire organization. And I get it. You're happy to just have anyone who's willing to help. But after decades of training nonprofit boards, I keep hearing the same complaints, and that's they're disengaged. They lack connection or skills. They don't understand their role. They dread meetings. And everybody's favorite, they hate fundraising. That sounds familiar. Let's fix that today because by the end of this video, you're going to know how to evaluate your current board, find qualified new board members, train them properly, and finally get them genuinely excited about fundraising. So let's dive right in because the very first thing I like to do when working with a new board is a self assessment. So think of this like a health checkup for your board. It tells you what's working, what's weak, and what needs a little TLC. And here's how it works. You hand out a short questionnaire, and yes, keep it short, that asks questions like, do I clearly understand our mission and programs? Do I know my roles and responsibilities as a board member? Do I show up and participate and add value to the meetings? Am I contributing to fundraising in some way? And am I a good ambassador for the organization and my community? Now, you can have board members fill this out privately or you can discuss it together. And I actually prefer doing it as a group, not to point fingers or create those awkward silences, but to spark honest conversation. You'd be amazed at what comes out of that discussion. The trick here is to frame it as learning, not judgment. And I always position it as the next step, which is using that information to complete a board matrix. Because once you know what's missing in terms of knowledge, engagement, or skills, a board matrix can help you see those gaps visually so you can recruit strategically instead of randomly. Now, board matrix is simply a chart, nothing fancy. Across the top, list all your current board members. Down the side, list the skill sets and perspectives your organization needs to thrive. So that might include things like legal and accounting expertise, HR governance knowledge, marketing and communications, or things like leadership and facilitation skills, community influence and connections, or center specific or lived experience. Then check the boxes. Check off where each person brings strengths, and you're going to start to see patterns and gaps. Maybe you've got a ton of passion, but nobody with legal or accounting experience. Or maybe your board is great with finances, but has zero community connections or marketing know how. This is where we stop settling for anyone willing to help and start being strategic. Our next step then is to take those gaps and create board member profiles or job postings for each gap that we've identified. So ask yourself, what specific skills or experience do we need? What personal qualities would make someone a good fit? And how will their presence strengthen our diversity and lived experience? And a bonus, ask what's in it for them, like resume building, expanding professional networks, and building leadership skills. Then it's time to go out and find them strategically. Now, we usually start with people who already know and care about our mission. So that's your donors, your volunteers, your program partners, and ask if they know anyone who fits the bill. You can also reach out to professional associations, trade groups, or publications. Let's say, for example, you need legal expertise. You can contact your local law society or publication and ask if they'll share a short blurb about your opportunity. Or if you're looking for someone with financial experience, reach out to local colleges or universities. Business and accounting students are often eager to gain real world experience. You can also connect with your local community foundation or volunteer centers. Many of them have board matching programs. And don't underestimate the power of social media. A simple post can work wonders. Now, once you've found those amazing new members, it's time to set them up for success, which brings us to our next step, onboarding, the most often overlooked, but arguably the most important part of nonprofit board development. 'Cause here's what usually happens. You finally recruit that perfect new board member. You're thrilled that they said yes. You hand them that 30-page board binder, maybe a welcome email, and then you never speak about it again. 2 months later, they're sitting in a meeting thinking, what exactly am I supposed to do here? So here's how to do it right. And first, create that board orientation package, and it can be digital or printed. Just make sure that it's clear, current, and easy to digest. So that's your mission, vision, and values, a one-page overview of your programs and the impact you're making, board roles and responsibilities, the meeting schedule, a contact list of fellow board members, your most recent financials, key policies like conflict of interest or confidentiality, and fundraising expectations. Yes, this belongs front and center. And I like to include a board pledge, which is a one-page commitment outlining Things like meeting attendance, participation, and giving expectations. This is the key. Don't just hand them the package and call it a day. Set up a one-on-one orientation meeting. This can be with you, the board chair, or another experienced member, but walk them through the materials, answer their questions, and most importantly, connect the dots between their skills and your organization's goals. If your organization has a space, make sure to give them a tour, let them meet the staff, see the programs in action, and understand what their decisions actually impact. And here's one quick tip that can completely change your board culture, and it doesn't cost a thing, and that's build micro training moments into your regular meetings. So set aside just 10-15 minutes at the end of each meeting for a short, focused learning session. These are like bite-sized trainings that can keep your board sharp, engaged, and confident. And you can do topics like reading financial statements, donor stewardship, how matching gifts works, or basics of strategic planning and governance. And the best part, you don't need to hire a consultant to come in and do this. Use free YouTube videos like mine or other content from nonprofit experts. The key is to keep it short and consistent. When learning becomes part of your meeting rhythm, your board will ask smarter questions, make better decisions, and feel more confident representing your organization. Now, before we move on to fundraising, this is a great time to thank our video sponsor, Click and Pledge, a platform I personally recommended to countless nonprofits. They make it so easy to accept online donations, manage events, and even track reoccurring gifts all in one place. What I love most is how they seamlessly integrate with CRMs like Salesforce and other tools you're probably already using. It's built for nonprofits that are ready to grow without needing a full tech team to make it happen. So if you want to simplify your online giving process with an all-in-one platform, check them out. I left a link in the video description. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the boardroom, fundraising. If you felt your shoulders tense up a little bit, you're not alone, but your board members have a duty of care. And one of those duties of care is ensuring your organization has the necessary resources to fulfill its mission. So encourage every board member to make a personal gift that's significant for them. And significant doesn't have to mean huge, just meaningful for them. When every board member gives something, it sends a powerful message to donors that they believe in the mission enough to invest in it themselves. And once that personal commitment is made, it's time to help each board member find their fundraising lane because not everybody is comfortable asking for money, and that's okay. Most board members hate the idea of a fundraising. They're scared of rejection, they don't want to bug people, or they tell themselves, I don't have any rich friends. So, here are a few simple ways that board members can contribute to fundraising without ever making a direct ask. They can share campaign posts or updates on their social media. They can write or sign thank you notes to donors. They can host birthday fundraisers on Facebook. They can ask their employer to sponsor an event or a program. They can help draft a grant or write a testimonial letter or introduce your organization to people in their networks. So, see, fundraising doesn't have to mean cold calling strangers. It's about helping in a way that fits each person's comfort zone and strengths. So I like to use what's called the give, get involved model. So give, you make a personal donation that's meaningful to you. Get, you bring in resources like donations, sponsorships, or new connections. Or get involved, participate in fundraising activities that match your skills and interests. When you have a board that gives, gets, and gets involved, you no longer have a fundraising problem, you have a fundraising team. Now, I once worked with a small nonprofit in a rural town, wonderful people, but they didn't have any big city connections or major donors. They were absolutely terrified of fundraising. So we kept it simple. Each board member agreed to ask just 10 friends for $100. That's it. No gala, no grants, no pressure, 10 friends. $100 each. They ended up raising over $6,000 in just a week. But the best part and the real win wasn't the money, it was the confidence. After that success, the board realized, hey, we can do this. They went from avoiding fundraising to leading it. And that's the power of small wins. Now, if you're ready to run your own campaign like this, it's a micro campaign that'll get your board on board with fundraising. Watch the video up next. It's the perfect next step once your board is ready to take action. And if you want to completely transform your board and your fundraising, that's what I do. That's my fundraising fast track program. It's simple, it's proven, and guaranteed. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. Don't miss next week's video and drop a comment below. It's the best way to support the channel and let me know what topics you want me to cover next. See you next week.